So you want to know how to survive motherhood, parenthood, looking after your kids while being an INFJ and also a small business owner. I have been asked this quite a few times in Facebook groups and in my YouTube comments, and I thought it's finally time I revealed to you how I do it, what my life looks like, and my number one tips in balancing it all. I'm gonna tell you the first one, and that is naps. Yes, naps. In fact, I just woke up from my nap just then. I could not pull this camera out until I had that 15-minute cat nap. You think I'm joking? I kinda am, but I'm kinda not. Let's get into the rest of the video. I'm going to share with you my journey on being a mum and how becoming a mum actually inspired me to start my own business as an INFJ. My oldest daughter, so I've got 2 kids, my oldest is now 9, and in Australia with the job that I had, I was able to go on maternity leave for about 15 months and I got paid at a half rate. So I got paid part-time for 15 months, and while I was home with my baby, I absolutely loved it. As a mum, I felt like I had no idea what I was doing. I had never held a baby before until I had my own baby. But despite the sleep deprivation, I had one of those colicky, crying all the time, never sleeping babies. Despite all that, I knew that all I wanted to do was be at home with my kids. I just wanted to be a stay-at-home mum, but also still feel like I had a purpose outside of my motherhood bubble. And it was because of becoming a mum that it really pushed me to get my business going. I knew for many years leading up to this that having an online business would be the dream, and I thought about it for so long, and I tried heaps of different things like blogs, and I tried selling bentonite clay and just lots of different stuff, but nothing really stuck. But it was being at home with my baby that stuck for the first time and made me realize I have to get this done. Like, I have to do this. I want to be there at all of their school activities. I want to go to athletics days and cross-country days. I didn't want to have a boss. I loved answering only to myself and only answering to myself. So while I was on maternity leave, I thought this would be the perfect time to go back and study and become a counsellor. I found a counselling course that was 2 years full-time, and it took me 4 years to actually complete it, because I could see that with my career background, working as a youth worker and community development worker, that this was like a good leeway. And throughout my career, I could see that I had the skills to be a counsellor. And if you're an INFJ, which I believe you would be if you clicked on this video, you would probably find that you also have the skills to be somebody who helps other people. And I just felt like that was my life calling. That was my purpose. There's nothing better to me than sitting down one-on-one and helping somebody. So I did the study, and it was actually during COVID, I really found the motivation to finish it off and launch my business. Now that I'm quite a few years into my business, I do have some tips and things that I can share with you about balancing motherhood and business ownership. But first, I want us to just focus on some of the really beautiful qualities that as INFJs we can bring to our children and bring into parenthood. I believe that because we have an introspective nature, that we are able to have really beautiful reflection and deep thinking on the way that we are responding to our children and the way that we are parenting them. What I mean by that is, we all know we're not perfect. No one's a perfect parent. But I think as INFJs, we are able to know when we have made mistakes as parents and talk to our children about it. So when I've raised my voice unnecessarily or told my kids off when they probably didn't deserve it, I believe that it's because I'm an INFJ that I'm able to sit back, reflect on the events that happened, and then go and talk to my children about it, apologize for my part, communicate with them about where they might have also gone wrong, and have that good communication between mother and daughter. So I've got 2 girls, so I don't know what it's like to have boys. I think though, because I've had a background in working with kids who are in child protection, that I have the reflection to know that I'm not a terrible parent. Like, I see so many parents beating themselves up thinking, I'm not doing a good enough job, I'm not a good enough parent. But when you've worked in child protection and youth justice, you quickly learn that actually I'm a pretty good parent. I feed my children, I love them, I'm there for them, and I'm around for them. It's really important for me as a parent, and I think this is an INFJ trait, is to teach my children about feelings and their emotions. So when they've done the wrong thing or they're going through something, it's important for me to talk to them about what they're feeling. And as an example, when my 6-year-old did something, we were able to talk about what she was actually feeling in her body and where she felt it in her body. And then I was able to describe that feeling to her and name it as guilt. I think so often we don't label feelings, and it's really important that we label feelings for children. Another example is when my kids had done something really amazing and achieved something great, to stop for a moment and to talk about that joy that they're feeling in their body, and then describe, well, that feeling is you being proud of yourself. And I think that goes a long way, and you'll see the benefits of it in the future when they're able to describe exactly what they're feeling and how they're feeling it. And I do that even with my counselling clients when they're sharing a story, to pause them and ask them, what are you feeling right now? And sometimes when adults haven't learnt about emotions growing up, we need to pull out the emotions wheel to help them pinpoint what exactly that feeling is, and then we dive into where they're feeling it in their body. As INFJ parents, it's really important that we teach boundaries, and I often share with my kids about my need for alone time and downtime. And when we're out in a really busy environment where there's lots of sounds and bright lights and everything that is just too much for me as an INFJ mum, I will tell them, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm grumpy. I'm not grumpy at you. It's just too much overstimulation and sensory overload for me. And then that gives them the permission to also tell me when they're feeling overwhelmed, which prevents fights from happening, because we're able to communicate that it's more about the environment that's affecting us and not us as mother-daughter. Okay, what does my work-life balance look like as an INFJ business owner with children? Now, I'm just going to share with you my personal circumstances, and perhaps it will give you some ideas, but I don't want you to feel judged in your situation, because everybody has a completely different situation. And I get that. And as parents, we're all doing the best that we can. I'm lucky in that my husband, he's the primary breadwinner. So he is the one that's bringing in the bacon. He is the one that pays the bills. We see my business money as the bonus money, the extras, the stuff to do the fun things, extra savings, all of that. From the very beginning, I decided that I would only work around my children, that no matter what, I would not go into hustle mode, that I was not going to be one of those crazy business owners that work ridiculous hours, working all night, working overnight. I just was not going to do that, because as an INFJ with limited energy, I knew from the get-go that that would be a recipe for burnout. especially because I'm a counsellor. I know that self-care and having balance is really important if I actually want to be a good counsellor. I cannot pour from an empty cup, and so I need a lot of downtime to fill up my own cup so that I can actually provide space for my clients. And so with my work-life balance, basically I only work during school hours. When my kids are home, I'm not working. I'm with them, I'm doing their things. So I'm doing the mum life, like packing school lunches, getting them ready for school, picking them up from school, taking them to their school activities, having family time over the weekend. And so when they're at school, that is my dedicated work time. But even within that, which if you're a school mum, you'll know that those hours, they go by so quickly. But during that time, I'm also doing all of my self-care. I am generally going to boxing classes and swimming laps. I do that in the morning, and then generally I would be seeing clients, and the maximum clients that I would see in a day is 4. That's really rare. I try and only see a few, maybe 2. 2 is probably my best balance. And the rest of the week when I'm not seeing clients, I'm making YouTube videos for you and I'm creating other content. And I try to schedule my month to fit all of this. So if you check out my Instagram, I have daily posts going out, but I sit down for 2 days out of the month and I pre-schedule those posts so that I'm not having to think about Instagram every day. If I had to think about Instagram every day, it would just be too much. As for school holidays, which I'm about to head into school holidays now, to be honest. When it's school holidays, I only see 1 client a day, and I try and have all of my social media content pre-scheduled so I don't have to think about it. And then I'm just there for my kids. I know that this work-life balance I have means I will grow my business really slowly, which I very much have. I've been growing it so slowly. But it also means that I have an incredibly strong foundation. I'm putting my roots in deep, and I know that it will be sustainable for the long haul. I see international clients on a Monday night, so I don't completely discount nights, but basically Monday nights is my international client night, and Tuesday nights is when I have supervision, which all counsellors need to do to remain registered as an Australian counsellor. I'm actually getting to the point where I think I'm gonna need to hire a virtual assistant because my work is picking up really quickly and there's a lot of little admin bits and bobs that I just need help on. And that's a huge step for me because I think this is an INFJ trait. And tell me if you're an INFJ business owner, if this is you as well. We like to do everything ourselves. We're a bit of a lone wolf and we don't trust our business with anybody else because our business is our life work. It's our purpose. It's our heart. It's everything that we have. It's everything that we are. But I am getting to a point where I'm going to need to hire a virtual assistant. I'm also realizing that I need to get better at sales. If I want to keep my business growing and being sustainable, but also maintaining my INFJ needs of naps, I told you I wasn't joking, and self-care, that I need to get better at systems and actual business stuff. I believe that as a counsellor and an INFJ and a person, I'm really good at connecting with you and all of that. I'm great at the therapy part. I'm great at being here with you, but something that I suck at is sales. And so I've started doing a course, which is a huge thing for me because I have, other than in my therapy practice, I have never invested on the business side of things. So I've invested in a lot of professional development, but not in learning how to be a better business owner. And I've started this course with Leonie Dawson, where I'm just trying to get better at all the marketing side of thing. And I'm sharing a link with you because Something that I like about her is that she's neurodivergent. She's built her business by only working 10 hours a week, which is basically the amount of hours I dedicate to my business. And she's a philanthropist. So she gives a lot of money to charities, which is my ultimate goal in my business, is to be at a place where I can give to the community. But I'm needing to learn more about sales to do that. And so I've been doing this course. It's actually pretty cheap, to be honest, but yeah, I'll link it in the description. But my biggest tip for you as an INFJ in business and being a mother or father is to start how you want to finish. I tried for a little bit the hustle mode and being really busy, and I got so burnt out that I got really sick and I ended up doing nothing. But if you can just set up your business in a way that honors your needs as an INFJ and be okay that you might grow slower than other people, be okay with that. That's totally okay. There's no rule on how quickly we need to build our business. Then you are going to have more success in building something that's sustainable and honoring who you are as an INFJ and a parent. And it's also important to know what your values are and know what your why is. When you know your values, then you can align your business to fit your values.